Yeah, the holidays are here, and it raises, for many, more emotions of excitement and joy, and for some, stress, good stress and bad stress. For others, loneliness and sadness and depression and isolation.
What can people do to be cognizant of that to help others?
Yeah, I think one is to be aware. So the holiday season has an amazing amount of triggers, sights and sounds and smells and memories. And even if they're good memories, they trigger things for us. So being aware of what emotions they stir up, being aware of stress that it raises, and then there's a lot of actions that we can take to help manage that. So
Tell me about this. I read in the Sunday paper actually about one of them was finding a sense of awe if you go out into nature. But what are your recommendations?
yeah, and I'll start with saying finding a sense of awe. So getting out, we live in a beautiful city. So being outdoors, here it gets a little chilly, but it's beautiful out. So staying outdoors, getting outdoors and moving. But others are having realistic expectations. There's an awful lot to do and that people want to do. And if we try and do everything, it can be overwhelming and it can invite stress. So making a plan. I know for myself, I've always made a calendar of activities when my kids were younger. I still do, now they're optional. But having a plan and carving out the things with the most meaning that you really want to do and be comfortable saying no to other things. There's lots of options, there's lots of invitations. Managing our self-care during the holidays, so that's getting outdoors, taking time to really pause and enjoy the things in the season that are meaningful.
And if you're low, what do you do?
If you're low, stay connected with other people. Reach out and volunteer. Ways we can do that in the community are countless. You can spend time with a senior that may be isolated during the season. Maybe it's a college student that can't leave to go home and be with family. It might be writing a letter to someone that's afar that can't come here, or even volunteering at a local animal shelter and spending time or walking the animals.
Anything else you want to say? And I want to ask Jean if you have a question, Jean. She sort of hit on your question.
Oh yeah, no worries. My thing is, I think you kind of answered it with like people my age who can't go, but what's it called? How do you deal with people with like? So I'm gonna address this as like a parent or ask a parent this, but how do you deal with the fact that your children don't want to visit you for the holidays? You know, like
That's a really good question.
yeah.
So the holidays can trigger all kinds of memories, even if they're good memories. A household filled with children that are now grown may be an empty household. There may be children that can't come home, or they have busy lives or other things going on and they don't come home, and that can trigger a lot of loneliness, a lot of memories that are not the same. So the things that we can do are to manage our expectations. Carve out the things that are really important that we know we have control over. If it's
so sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know how that happened. My bad.
That's
Go
okay.
ahead.
I'll back up. So things to combat loneliness, or having a household where maybe the children don't want to come home or don't want to spend as much time or maintain those same traditions for so many years. Carve out the things that you know you can control. Maybe it's doing baking, maybe it's volunteering, maybe it's putting up different or new decorations, listening to music, but find the things that we can control. And I think the season is also a time to count the things that we're grateful for. So maybe it's a good time to write meaningful letters to your children that aren't with you. You can reminisce on past memories that way too.
Anything else you want to say?
What else could I say? I would say that the holiday season seems to start earlier and earlier every year, and then it's an abrupt standstill and stop. So I would encourage people to really enjoy every day that we're in. Enjoy the weather, enjoy the sights and the sounds, enjoy the relationships and the connections that we have.
I'm going to see if we can link her whole interview on the web.